पुन्हा ते चालत नाही आता लाईव्ह
सर सुरू करा.
Today's topic is types and role of inflorescence. Myself, Dr. Chavan ST, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Rashtramatha Indira Gandhi College, Jalna. This topic is for BSc first year. Then a definition of inflorescence. Inflorescence is defined as reproductive shoot bearing a number of flowers. Reproductive shoot bearing number of flowers, sometimes only single flowers. It may be terminal or axillary and may be branched in various ways. Thus, depending on the mode of branching, different kinds of inflorescence has come into existence. Our next type of definition, inflorescence is defined as the specialized branch of flower bearing a group of flowers. And other definition, the arrangement of flowers on the floral axis is called inflorescence. These three definitions of inflorescence. Inflorescence is defined as specialized branch of flowers, specialized branch bearing group of flowers. Some terminology related to inflorescence and flowers. Number one, peduncle. Peduncle, the main axis or stalk bearing flowers. Main axis or stalk bearing flowers, or the stem that bears flower is called peduncle. Stem that bear flower is called peduncle. Suppose this is a stalk of flowers that called peduncle. This stalk develop on stem, and on this stalk from this base to this, that is a peduncle. On this peduncle, number of pedicels developed. In this plant, 3 pedicels, and each pedicel produce flowers on the apex of the pedicels. From this to this peduncle, and from this on the typical position of peduncle, 3 pedicels. Pedicels is a stalk of flowers. This flower number 1, 2, 3 flowers, and on the base of these pedicels, a leaf-like structure, leaf-like appearance or develops, that is a bract. Pedicel, then sessile flowers bearing no pedicel or no stalk. Flowers have no stalk, that is a sessile. Pedicellate, those flower bearing a pedicel or stalk. Those flower pedicels or stalk. Without pedicel, that is called sessile. When pedicel present, which that flower is called pedicellate. But in some plants, only single flower are developed. China rose, lady's finger, dhatura, only single flowers. That is called solitary flowers. Flower occurring singly, solitary flowers. Then receptacle, the rounded area at the top of the stem that supports the head of flowers. Rounded area. Best example is Tradex or sunflower, Suryapul flowers, a rounded area. On this rounded area, number of or numerous flowers develop. That is called receptacles. And types of inflorescence. There are two main types of inflorescence: racemose and cymose. Racemose and cymose. Racemose, the flower is indefinite and indeterminate. Flower is indefinite. There is no definite flowers. It may be 4, 5, 3, 6. No definite. Indefinite flowers produce. And indeterminate, because indeterminate means we cannot determine how many flowers develop on this branch, on these plants. We cannot determine. But in cymose inflorescence, the main axis has a limited growth and determinate. Main axis has a limited growth. In racemose, main axes are unlimited growth. Their apex parts again and again grow. And flowers are determinate. There is flowers are indeterminate. Here it determinate. We determine whether it may 3 flowers, 4 flowers, or 6 or 2. Second point, the younger flower present on apex. Younger flower present on apex and older towards base. Younger flower present on apex and older towards base. This position is called acropetal succession. Growing point does not stop. In racemose, growing point does not stop. But in cymose inflorescence, flowers are arranged in basipetal succession. Means apical part flowers are first mature, then basal flowers. That is older flower, younger on base. The inflorescence classified on the basis of origin. There are 3 types. Basis of origin, 3 types. Terminal inflorescence, developed from apicals. Inflorescence developed from apicals. Example, crotalaria and Sopan. Terminal. On this one branch, on these terminal positions, inflorescence are developed. That is in terminal position. But in next, axillary inflorescence, formed in axils of leaves and branches. Axillary or this axis, inflorescence produced on axis, dolichos. Third type of origin inflorescence, the inflorescence which is formed in internodes called polystemon. Internodes. You know, internode node. Suppose sugarcane, sugarcane, both sides of internode sugarcane, swelling parts. On these swelling parts, eye-like structure produce, and this both from this both swelling inter parts is a internode, and swelling part is called node. Then based on origin and inflorescence based on growth and development of peduncle. Based on growth and development of peduncle, there are three types. There are also three types: racemose, cymose, and special type of inflorescence. Special type of inflorescence. We have see first racemose type of inflorescence. After racemose, then you can see cymose and special type of inflorescence. First type is a racemose inflorescence. We have see in definition, racemose inflorescence are basipetal manner, and flowers are indeterminate and indefinite. Peduncle having indefinite growth of axis, and on the elongated peduncle, flowers are arranged acropetally or centripetally. Flowers are arranged acropetally, means younger flower on top or apical, and older on base. That is acropetally. Then centripetally, younger flower are center in surapul and sunflower, and peripheral are older flowers. Types of racemose inflorescence. There are 5 types of racemose inflorescence. Number 1, raceme, spike, spadix, capitulum, and umbel. We have see one by one. Raceme. Raceme, a simple raceme. The main axis does not terminate into flower. Main axis does not terminate into flower, but continues to acropetal succession with stalked flowers. With stalked flowers. Example: Brassica, Crotalaria, Caesalpinia, etc. Then compound racemes. When the main axis of raceme and lateral branches or axis bears flowers, called compound racemes. Simple raceme, main axis does not terminate into flower. This main axis here is does not end in into flowers. Here is in bud conditions number of flowers in bud condition, and they can grow, they can mature. This on basal position, flowers are mature, fully mature, and bud condition, they not terminate into flowers. Simple raceme, compound raceme, one peduncle. This one peduncle, on one peduncle, branches of this peduncle, this secondary peduncle. On this secondary peduncle, pedicels here, pedicels, and each pedicel produce one flowers. That is a compound raceme. Compound raceme. Then spike. Second type of racemose inflorescence is a spike. Simple spike and compound spike. Simple spike and compound spike. Usually unbranched, elongated, simple, indeterminate inflorescence whose flowers are sessile. Spike whose flowers are sessile. We have see sessile in terminology. Sessile means without stalk of flowers. Flowers have no stalk. That is a sessile. Usually unbranched, elongated, simple, indeterminate inflorescence whose flowers are sessile. Example: Adathoda, Piper, Amaranthus, etc. Then compound spike. The main axis is elongated and compound nature. Refers to branched axis. Main axis is elongated and compound nature. Refers to branched axis, triticum, oryza, etc. Third type of Racimogen Fluorescence is a spadix. Spadix is a third type of Racimogen Fluorescence. Spadix are three types. Number one, simple spadix, mixed spadix, and compound spadix. There are also three types. Simple spadix. This is a modified type of spike in which the peduncle is thick. This peduncle, green part of this arum plant is a peduncle. Peduncle is thick, stout, and flowers are unisexual and sessile, borne on same axis. Flowers are unisexual, whether it may be male or female flowers only in one flower. Sessile, borne on same axis. That is a simple spadix. Then compound spadix. Inflorescence is very large. Each node bears fleshy and color spathe. Example: banana. Inflorescence is very large. Each node bears fleshy and color spathe. That is a banana. This banana inflorescence node is very large, fleshy, and color spathe. This spathe is colored. Compound raceme, main axis is branched. The whole inflorescence is covered by woody spathe, wood-like spathe. Example: coconut. Then third type, purim. The main axis is comparatively short and lower flowers have longer stalk. These lower flowers have a longer stalk or longer pedicel. Longer stalk or pedicels than the upper ones, so that all flowers brought more or less to same position or same level. All flowers comes into same level. For this, lower flowers long stalk, then some upper small, and on the uppermost very small stalk. Example is iberis. Fourth type of Racimogen fluorescence is capitulum or head. The main axis is flattened to form more or less convex receptacle on which the ray and disc florets are arranged in centripetal order. The base of the receptacle is surrounded by whorl of green bracts known as involucre. The main axis is a flattened. This main axis is flattened, and on this flattened part, number of these flowers develop. That is called receptacle. receptacle, and on peripheral ray fluorates. This is a ray fluorate. Yellow color is ray fluorate, and this dark yellow is a disc fluorate. Ray fluorate and disc fluorate. Fluorates are arranged in centripetal order. Centripetals. The base of receptacle is surrounded by a whorl of green involucre. On base of receptacle, a green involucres. These green involucres produce on this receptacle. Ray fluorate are unisexual or bisexual, but disc fluorate always bisexual. Bisexual. There is so involucres, ray fluorates. These ray fluorates, peripheral and central are disc fluorate. On this disc fluorate, seeds produce. Fifth type is a umbel. Umbel again divided into simple umbel and compound umbel. The main axis shortened. A group of pedicels late. Group of pedicel late. Flowers arise from the same point. Example, onion. Onion. Main axis is group of pedicels late flowers from the same points. Compound umbel. Umbellate inflorescence produce lateral branches, and these branches bears umbels. Example, coriander. Then Racimogen inflorescence. Racimogen inflorescence. There are three main types of inflorescence: racemose, cymose, and special type of inflorescence. We have seen Racimogen inflorescence, 5 type of Racimogen inflorescence, and their example. Racimogen inflorescence, it is a determinate type of inflorescence in which the growth of the main axis is immediately terminated. Growth of main axis is immediately terminated by the development of flower at its apex. Old flower is at apex and young flower is at base. It is determinate how many flowers we can determine which growth of main axis is immediately terminated by development of flowers. Flowers at its apex, that is older flower is at apex and younger flower is on base, opposite to racemose type of inflorescence. Solitary inflorescence or simple cyme. Simple cyme, flowers are single. This is flowers are singles. Hibiscus and Dhatura. Uniparous or monochagial cymes. Uniparous or monochagial cymes. Unus means one and parer means to produce. To produce. Uni means one branch produce. In this type of inflorescence, the main axis ends in a flower and it produces only one lateral branch. It produces only one lateral branch. At a time ending in flowers. In this, flowers produce only one lateral branch. Suppose this one flower they produce one branch only inside. The lateral and succeeding branches again produce only one branch at a time, like primary one. Two forms of uniparous cyme may be seen, that is helicoid and scarped. Helicoid, this is helicoid. Scarped are, there is not figures of scarped, but helicoids. One flowers produce in pedicel. They produce lateral branch one. These flowers again produce lateral branch one. These lateral branch ones again produce lateral branch one and lateral branch one. That is helicoid, one after one after one after one. That is a helicoid. Other type is scarped. Apex of peduncle terminates into flowers. Apex of peduncle terminates into flowers, and a single lateral branch develops alternately right angle and left of it. Suppose apex of peduncle terminate into flowers. This apex terminate flowers. They produce uh, one branch. This sides, this flowers. This side again produce this side zigzag type. This is a helicoid type, but zigzag. One branch one time, or one branch produce this side, the other this side, this side, this side. Zigzag type. That is a scarped. Then biparous cyme, also called dichagial cyme. The main axis ends in flowers. Main axis ends in flowers. This main axis, there is with flower. There is no immature flowers. Terminate into flower, and a single lateral branch develop alternately right and left. Here are dichagial cymes. Main axis ends in flower, and basal two opposite lateral branches produce younger flower. This main axis terminate flowers, but at a time, two lateral younger flower produce. This one side and opposite side, both sides two lateral, hence called dichagial or biparous. Two lateral flowers produce biparous or dichagial cymes. Example, dianthus. The third type of is a multiparous cyme or polychagial cyme. The main axis ends in flower after producing many lateral branches. Monochagial, main axis ends flowers. They produce only one lateral branch. Biparous, main axis ends in flower. They produce both sides two flowers, called biparous or dichagial. Then multiparous or polychagial, main axis ends flower after producing many lateral branches, hence called multiparous cymes. Multiparous cymes. From the axis of whorl leaves present below the terminal flower, each lateral branch terminated into flowers. That is calotropous, Asclepiaceae, etc. A special type of branches. There are three main types of special types of inflorescence: Hypanthodium, verticillester, and Scythium. Number one, Hypanthodium. It consists of hollow, flask-shaped fleshy axis opening by a small ostiole At the apex, many reduced flowers are arranged closely along its inner surface. Male flowers are situated near the periphery and female flowers in center. Example, ficus. In Marathi, anjir. Anjir, ficus. In this ficus, it consists of hollow parts. Inner side is hollow, flask shaped, fleshy. In ficus or anjir, fleshy like structure. Many reduced flowers arranged in this fleshy like structure. In ficus, that is a special type. Flowers are not produced on branches and not produced on opposite leaves, branches or stalk. But flowers develop or present inner the fruits. Inner the fruits. In this inner parts, male flowers are situated nearby peripheral. This peripheral sides appear male flowers and central flowers are female. That is a Hypanthodium type of special type of inflorescence. Hypanthodium. Verticillester. When flowers arise in axil, or bracts arranged opposite to each other. Flower arise in axils of bracts arranged opposite to each other. Each cluster of flowers in this type of inflorescence represents diachial sign. As example, family Labiati. Verticillester, Labiati, Tulsi or Ocimum. When flowers arise in axils of bracts arranged opposite to each other, flowers both sides bract appear, and each cluster of flower in this type of inflorescence represent diachial. Both sides produce bracts, that is diachial sign. Example, Ocimum. Third type of special type of inflorescence is a Cythium, a group shaped involucres, not group, a cup shaped involucre is formed by the union of bracts. A cup shaped involucre, this is a cup shaped involucres formed by union of bracts. This cup shaped involucre is formed by union of bracts because number of bracts are united and to produce a cup shaped involucres. At the center, this center point, this is the center point, a biggest female flower is present. In this center, the biggest female flower is present and it is surrounded by number of male flowers. Number of male. Nectar secreting gland is present on involucre. On this involucre, nectar secreting glands is present. Family example, family Euphorbiaceae, member of plants. Their inflorescence is Cythium. Now we have see in detail types of inflorescence. types of inflorescence, and classification of inflorescence. There are three main type of inflorescence: racemose, cymose, and special type. Racemose inflorescence, indeterminate and indefinite. Cymose inflorescence, determined and definite. Definite and determined. And racemose inflorescence, apical base flower are first mature, then apical. In cymose inflorescence, opposite, apical flowers are first mature, then base flowers. Then type of inflorescence, racemose, there are 5 type of inflorescence: spikes, spadix, raceme, another. Racemose, cymose type of inflorescence: monoparous, biparous, multiparous. Then special type of inflorescence, and there are 3 types: Hypanthodium, verticillester, and Scythium. This is a main type of inflorescence. Then role or function of inflorescence. Function of inflorescence. Inflorescence serve as an important taxonomic characters. It is an important taxonomic characters. Taxonomy means, we have seen in first period, taxonomy means study of plant external character. Which taxonomy studied we? Plant taxonomy, study of external character of plant. That is a plant taxonomy. Animal taxonomy, human taxonomy, and plant taxonomy. It serves as an important taxonomic characters. This is inflorescences for identification. This is an important taxonomic character. Second function or role, grouping of flowers attracting pollinating agents. Suppose in inflorescence, not only single flower, but a group of flowers, and group of flowers, they are suddenly attract to pollinating agent, insect, animals. That is a pollinating agent. They attract a group of flowers and pollination takes place. Third role, many flowers pollinated by insect. Many flowers pollinated by insects in a single visit. Suppose one insect come in contact or attract and come in contact with this inflorescence. Number of flowers produced in single visit. Many flowers are pollinated. Fourth, younger flowers open later. Younger flowers open later than the older flowers, make flowering period is longer. In which type of inflorescence younger flower open later than older? Anybody tell me which type? We have seen there are 3 main types of inflorescence. In which type of inflorescence younger flowers open later than older flowers? No. We have seen racemose. Apex parts is a immature. Basal parts of flowers are mature, open. Flowers open later than older flowers. The flowering is longer time because basal flower mature, then upper, then middle, and then apical. And fourth and fifth point function, it help to avoid sudden damage to all flowers due to natural calamities. Due to natural calamities, it help to avoid sudden damage. They avoid sudden damage to all flowers due to natural calamities. The and sixth role, the type of inflorescence is very crucial in hybridization. Type of inflorescence is very crucial in hybridization program, help to indicate primitive and advanced nature of that family. Role of inflorescence in tissue culture also for haploid production. Role of inflorescence in tissue culture also for haploid production. This is a main role of inflorescence. We have see type of inflorescence, role or function of inflorescence. Then I have asking some questions on the basis of inflorescence. For you. Number one, what is inflorescence? What is inflorescence? We have see three different type of definitions of inflorescence. Tell me any definition or meaning of inflorescence. Or meaning of inflorescence. Anybody? Are you not understand what is mean by inflorescence? Their answer, inflorescence is the specialized branch of flower bearing a group of flowers. Inflorescence is a specialized branch of flowers bearing a group of flowers. That is inflorescence. And second questions, how many type of inflorescence? How many type of inflorescence? Unmute your video. How many type of inflorescence? Answer is three type of inflorescence. There are three type of inflorescence. I had told you, repeat and repeat. There are three type of inflorescence: Racimogen fluorescence, Cymogen fluorescence, and special type of inflorescence. Racimogen fluorescence, Cymogen, and special type of inflorescence. In raceme inflorescence, the flowers are raceme inflorescence, flowers are tedes. Flowers are tedes. Answer is arranged a acropetal succession. Racimogen inflorescence flowers arranged in acropetal succession. Means basal flowers are first mature, then apex flowers. That is a acropetal succession. Fourth, which type of in which type of onion inflorescence? We have seen racemose type of inflorescence. Which type of onion inflorescence? Number 1, raceme, B, corym, C, catkin, and D, umbel. Raceme, corym, catkin, umbel. From these 4, which type of onion inflorescence? The answer is umbel type of inflorescence in onion. Umbel type of inflorescence in onion tree or onion plant. In Musaceae, the inflorescence is dadas. In Musaceae is a family of banana. Musaceae is a family of banana. In banana, which type of inflorescence is found? Which type of inflorescence is found in banana? A spadic type of inflorescence, a colored spathe. We have seen in spadics. There are 3 types of spadics: simple, mixed spadics, and compound spadics. Simple spadics, mixed spadics, and compound spadics. This is spadics is a example of banana inflorescence. Then 6, helicoid inflorescence is found in that plant, in the dash plant. Helicoid inflorescence is found in dash plants. Which plants are example of helicoid inflorescence? Tell me example of helicoid inflorescence. Example of helicoid inflorescence. Their answer is Hamelia. Hamelia is an example of helicoid inflorescence. Helicoid inflorescence, we have seen one branch produce one flower, single flower. They produce lateral again single flower. They produce again lateral single flower again. That is helicoids. Helicoids and scorpiid inflorescence. 7th questions. Arrangement of Florescence is dadas. Arrangement of floral axis is dadas. It is floral. Arrangement of floral axis is dadas. Floral axis is dadas. Arrangement of floral axis is dadas. Seven questions answer is inflorescence. Arrangement of floral axis is called inflorescence. Inflorescence. Then next question, inflorescence of coriander, Kothambir. Inflorescence of coriander is dadas. Inflorescence of coriander. Inflorescence of coriander. Means that is umbel or umbels. Umbel or umbels. Inflorescence of coriander. The one umbel or umbels is a one type of Racimogen fluorescence. And you have no Racimogen fluorescence, apical are immature flower, basal are mature. First basal flower mature, then apical. That is umbel or umbels flowers. Umbel or umbels flowers. Then inflorescence consisting of unisexual sessile flower. Inflorescence consisting of unisexual sessile flowers. Unisexual sessile flowers. Catkin. Catkin inflorescence consists of unisexual sessile flowers. Okay. Catkin. And last questions. Blooms occur in which plant? Blooms occur in which plants? Blooms, Glumes. Blooms occur in which plants? Blooms occur in spikelets type of inflorescence. Blooms occur in which inflorescence? Blooms occur in spikelets. And thanks for all of you. Any doubt you can ask me now or anytime. Any times.